Well, I've got to tell you, like, I wrote a song last night
You wrote a song?
called Come, right? And it's about come to the center,
Right.
right? And it's funny, but it's such a strong theme to this topic. So I must have done it instinctively,
Right.
you know.
Okay.
And maybe we'll play it at the end because it kind of ties it all together. But the topic that I emailed you on is this world of gender, identity, and pronouns. For a long time, I've been watching this unfold. And it's easy to judge. It's easy to think, what's wrong with those people, on both sides. Like each side will look at the other and go, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you letting me be who I want to be? And then the other side goes, what's wrong with you? Why are you denying your biology? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone doubles down and then it just perpetuates the divide. But then for some strange reason, each side starts to get more extreme against the other side because it's a genuine threat to them, right? And so I've watched this unfold and I didn't pay attention around how it started, how it got so global, how it ended up in government forms, the pronouns and all that. Like it really infiltrated really quickly.
Yeah, you're right.
And I wasn't really paying much attention. I just thought, oh, have I been living under a rock? Like, because this thing was just unfolding so fast.
Yeah, it was. We were working and my team member was the first person to come out in the bank as a trans. And there was like a whole education thing going on and people started using pronouns and there was a whole thing. And I felt really proud for her. But man, did I ask a lot of dumb questions that I shouldn't have asked. And then I think I felt like the education sessions the awareness sessions was as a result of me asking dumb questions to this person. And this person went, no, you can't ask me that. I was like, you can't. I was like, but anyway.
You can't ask me that.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a couple of
do you still have a willy?
No, I did. I said that. I said, are you going to do a sex change in Thailand? Are you going to cut it off? And then he went, no, I was like, you can't ask me that. And I was like, oh. And then I asked, oh, what about your parents? Like, are they okay with it? No, I was like, that's confidential. I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I said, oh, what, are you going to wear makeup now? Are you going to wear panties and bras? I was like, again, man, stop. Like, okay, I get, I was genuinely, no, I was genuinely.
You were like a 6-year-old boy. Go,
yeah.
Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Yeah, I was very curious. Let's put it that way. In the wrong way, in a very innocent form. I wasn't trying to be.
I can see that. That's really funny.
But I said, "Are you gonna come in with the dress tomorrow? Are you gonna do your nails anyway?" So you are right in saying that it spread really quickly, and then it was a big thing.
Yeah, it was. And if I look back and think, why didn't I, have a voice in that? Why didn't I, talk through it?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because I could see that people were so polarized and intense about it.
Mm-hmm.
That it's very difficult to hold a conversation with someone who's too invested in one side emotionally with incredible intensity, And that also related to the level of the cancel culture that was happening so much, where people were being deplatformed, people were being ridiculed online.
Dave Chappelle, that professor as well. I remember there was one big professor got fired for saying something about challenging.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson or
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it could be him. But anyway, I just kind of just looked the other way. Right. Yeah. And look, my daughter through school, she'd come and she'd tell us things, and I could tell that she was very understanding and caring, but at the same time I could tell there was friction and tension because being heterosexual became the minority in the energy of dynamics. Suddenly she felt like she didn't matter.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're heterosexual. Boring. I'm not even joking, but that's actually what. And then I thought to myself, wow, the subtlety of that is very telling, because how many people who were sick of feeling like they were nothing suddenly had a way to be something.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Because the percentage of trans it's been there for a long time, but suddenly it blew up and it started to exponentially grow.
You mean in schools?
Not just in schools. I'm talking about percentage of the population.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think part of that could be contributed to, we became more accepting, so more people could be open about it. So I'd appreciate. It's like gay, right? Apparently, it's been 10% of the population for like ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I know. And 10% seems high, doesn't it? It's like 10 people, it's going to be one gay guy or girl, right? And I just thought, okay, I need to understand this. Right? I thought, I really need to understand this. And so I used AI because I could be controversial with AI to test my gut instincts, my ideas, and AI would educate me and school me if I was reaching levels of ideas that were not really bound with principles and integrity. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So what I like about AI is you can just go, hey, I'm thinking this and this for this reason and that reason, and then AI will come back at you and go, yeah, but, and it'll give you really good stuff. And so now you're having a safe debate without being cancelled.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
It was really good. It was really good. But right now I'm going to take you through a really weird process of how I reconciled this in myself.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because I had to. To me...
why did it affect you so much?
Literally that question is where I'm at right now.
Right.
Why did it affect me so much? Because I love harmony. I love unity. I love cohesion. I love people being there for each other. I love understanding, compassion, alignment, flow. Because of that, any friction points that become really extreme and prolonged, like I said, I let it happen longer within myself than I normally would, right?
Right.
But I deep dive into those because I want to know. Because look, I have this theory. Every time there is a divide, we're being conned. It's like the principle confrontation. Yeah, front the con. Like if we're confronting with conflict, we need to confront to find why we're conned into conflict. Because if you go deep down into all of us, what do we want? We want to matter. We want love.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science. It's human science. Right? We want the same thing. So how do we end up ideating, into views the opposite to the point where we really think that the other person's a danger to us and vice versa? It means there must be a lot of bullshit distorting our perceptions for us to think we are enemies to each other at the same time. Like imagine you are adamant you're good and you are adamant I'm bad. And at the same time, I'm adamant you're bad and I'm adamant I'm good. There's got to be a lot of bullshit between that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought to myself first, the first principle is life, right? Existing. What allows us to exist here? A male, female sex function to procreate and bring in life. So already we know there's a mechanism that allows sustainability of a human race. It allows us to exist. So that is pretty powerful. We can't be sitting here arguing with each other about ideas that would make us collapse into non-existence. Do you know what I mean? Like you there's got to be a better way to understand what's really going on. Yeah. So that was the first tip off for me. It's like something's gone against biology. So let me just park that to the side. Let me now find out, well, why has that happened?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you went all the way back. I see how you're
Yeah, I had to start from the beginning of the fundamentals.
Right.
It's like, what are we arguing about? We're arguing that someone doesn't want to be a male or female, even like the fluid pronouns. It's like, I don't want to belong in any gender role. And then I thought to myself, why is everybody saying, what is a woman? Oh, I can't answer that. Like all this stuff that was going on. And I thought, this is a definition problem. Obviously, people are playing with definitions and everybody's just layering their own context on that definition to create such a stark difference between the two. So then I went into the definitions and I went, okay, man, woman. Well, man, woman is the adult version, right, of a boy, girl, fine. But is that biology, sex function? Not really, because male, female is, right? So then I thought, okay, but why and how is it that we've attached the extension of man and woman, of boy and girl, from male, female, so that they are inseparable? You follow me?
Not really.
Okay. So right now you can have electrical circuits with male, female. You can have all sorts of things with the understanding of function of male, female.
Right.
It's only when you get into social human interaction do you now change male, female into boy, girl, man, woman.
Right. Oh, okay.
You see?
Yeah.
It's the social layer that made us evolve the sex function into a gender extension.
I see what you mean.
And that was very telling for me. Sitting there seeing, hang on a minute, we extended, but why did we extend it? You see, isn't that interesting? Why did we extend it? Because how do you get socially people together to want to be together in a romantic relationship to then have a family? Because the social layer is the ushering into the biological connection, the physical connection, right? It's the sorting out of individuals into the union.
Right.
Right. And I thought, okay, that seems plausible and understandable. It's good. Like, I get that, right? And then it left me with, but what about the people suffering who just feel they're struggling and they don't feel gender fits them? Their gender fits them. Like, if you're a man and you think, no, I'm really a woman, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there? Like, and then I thought, okay, they want to feel comfortable. They want to feel at home in something that feels true and right for them. And I thought, okay, how does gender fix that? And then I thought, well, it doesn't. But they have a right to feel good about themselves. They have a right to feel that what they think they are is true, you know? And I thought, okay, so what are they really after? Are they after the right gender, or are they after the feeling they think it will give them?
Ooh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And it is to know that they are authentic within themselves. They are finally into something that doesn't make them fight themselves, you know? And then I thought to myself, I think that's a spiritual, existential issue. And I think we're chasing something much deeper than gender, but gender became a distraction. It became, oh, maybe you need to be this gender instead of the gender you're in to solve your problem. Maybe you're this. And so if you're chasing your identity into ideas instead of coming into yourself to know you matter, right? And understanding that your role, your biological role, is not you, it's a role. You're in a flesh-bone body that nature has decided you might be a male, you might be a female, you know what I mean? And sometimes small percentage of people, it's mixed up, right? We know that. But generally, nature's trying to sort out the polarity, you know, to keep the species going. And so I'm thinking, wow. So basically, I kind of now took a step into the conservative lens to understand from their perspective why they're so upset with the pronoun, you know, movement. Then I stepped into the pronoun movement to look at why they're so upset with the conservative position. And then I it's what I sent you, you see. And I thought, wow. So basically, the conservative position says you are your gender and the biology will decide it.
Yeah.
And you are nothing
Male,
more
female.
than that, and you should just be it. Now, that is triggering for someone who knows spiritually they are more than that. But rather than try to rearrange the furniture and find the right gender, you see what I mean? Or make up one in between, you know, we needed to go deeper than that, right? And then at the same time, for a conservative position to be hearing, I identify as a cat and I identify as a, you know, and then they get an upset for you not honoring, you know, who they decided to be. And it's like, hang on a minute, this doesn't feel right either, because that's not even sustainable, because everyone's just going to keep making up stuff and then they're going to be a victim to us somehow magically being able to pick and remember and just always on point, know who you really are.
Yeah.
You know?
We could be a penguin today and another person could be
and so just say you're fluid and today I'm a male, but tomorrow I'm a female, and by 2 a.m. I'm back to male. Like I just, you know, this stuff was happening. And the reason why it was getting more absurd is because they were trying on different genders. That's not it. Shit. That's not it. That's not it. Searching for that beautiful feeling that they belong, they matter, they're a part of everything, they're equal.
Wow.
Right? So then the conservative position went, how could you argue against the very biology that allows you to exist? Like, are you nuts? You know? And so therefore they'd call them mentally ill, right? But that label, mentally ill, is judging someone for suffering because they don't feel like they matter and they don't know how to feel like they belong. You see?
Ooh, I see what you mean.
So all they were doing is triggering each other. So what would happen if the conservative position came to the center, hence the song I wrote, come to the center and said, hey, let me understand why you choose the gender you're choosing outside of your biology. Yeah. And then hold in the space. And I just know if you sat long enough and made that person feel like they mattered, you would get deeper than the gender. You'd get deeper than the gender very quickly. And being distracted by trying to find the right gender and not going deeper into your origins of depth of you are a part of everything and you've been gifted the ability to exist with free will, imagination. But the biology allows you to exist here, play here. Your parents honored the male-female function to allow you to decide whether you like your gender or not, but you exist because of that gender function. So let's not flush the biological baby out with the bathwater, you know? I think you would find that both sides being curious as to, you know, why are you being so like a pronoun position? Why are you being so nasty to me, Mr. Conservative? Like, why are you so judgmental and you won't let me be who I want to be?
Yep.
And it's like, you know what? You can be whoever you want to be, but I don't think gender is the hill you die on. I don't think you putting all your eggs into some form of gender to make you feel good is not the answer. The answer is deep down, we are much more. Genders are roles. You existed before you became a father.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, gender function in biology is a role. And therefore, you are greater than a role for function, you know? Yeah.
So, can I ask this is going to be a really dumb question, but
Oh, no, you're going to do the same thing as you did at that.
so are you saying that if you sat with a transvestite person and really deep dive, that person wouldn't then choose to be a trans? Like
No. What I'm saying is this.
Right.
I'm saying they will appreciate that I see through one layer of their journey into experimenting with what works for them. See, you see what I mean?
I see.
They have a right to do whatever they want for them.
Yeah.
Right? So if they want to experiment with the idea of swapping gender roles in a social setting, that comes with an adventure within itself that they get to have. It's their right to have. And as humans, if we don't have free will, we got nothing. Because without free will, we may as well just be software programs and robots.
Yeah.
So when a trans sits with me on a topic like this, I honor them for their choices. I honor them for even their challenges to go, yeah, for some reason, I just didn't like the social gender role, and therefore the biology it came from in my body. And I wanted to start to understand, does swapping over in the gender role make me feel better?
Oh, wow, that's profound.
You know what I mean? And when they did experiment with it, cross-dress or, hang out with others who are the same, they went through a journey of discovering for some reason they like it better. And so they thought that was the answer. And it was the answer if they like it better and it made their life better. It was the answer. But it doesn't change the fact that they were neither male or female in the essence of who they really are. They are greater than the function,
Oh, wow.
and the social constructs. They are greater. But it's funny, it's like we need to add a little bit of a dimensional nuance, because if you polarize and say, no, you're just your biology, then that's a rigid trapping of who you are. That's a lie. And you know what's funny? The conservative approach, which does have a lot of religion to it, right, comes with, oh no, we're spirits, we're souls. In a human body, yet they'll contradict and want to put all your identity into the flesh bone body and sever you from your spirit. That does not make sense. So even their position is collapsing. So both sides in extremes, their position collapses. So imagine if you loved the journey, the adventure of trying to figure out, like who you are and trying to try on different modes of being as is this part of an answer. That's all well and good, but ultimately I know, because obviously I took a deep dive, for like decades around who are we and why we're here. And with the thousands of people I've engaged on this, everyone deeply resonates with, we are greater than the human avatar. There's a spark, there's something from the unseen of who we are that we come from, and we are here. And that's why I like the Avatar movie, the idea of you can lose your consciousness out of one, form into another. That was a very clever way to show how real you are in another form, and you live it, and then suddenly you zap back to another form.
Wow, you got me thinking, man. My brain is moving at 100 miles an hour now. It was really interesting. I never saw it that way. Like, so like you said, like male and female, they've got their perceived roles. Females do this, males do this, and then you've got this person who feels like, you know what? I'm tired of this social construct. I can wear a dress. It's not bound to the female label. And so they're on a journey of self-discovery with an aim to accept themselves. Not really. I'm not going to generalize this, but this is where my brain is going. So it's more about it's sort of like a self-discovery, a self-acceptance journey. And so it's not the end when they change their gender. It's more like it seems like they're starting on a new path to figure out, that they're great, they're inherently greater than what they are. So,
I mean, like, why is it okay for the Scots to wear kilts?
Yeah,
and it's manly, and it's cool, and it doesn't take away from their masculinity and being a man, but yet they'll wear the skirt, and everyone respects it and appreciates it. It's a social construct.
yeah.
It's just all these social constructs of agreements to say, hey, for you to belong in this membership, play by these rules. So then what happens is that there's a lot of rules, okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules.